Hey everyone! Alright, so now that I've got my giveaway box done and the album done, I'm going to take a little break of doing an album in a keepsake box. But I do have another one that I need to get done. So I probably won't start working on that till next week. Because Friday, which today is Wednesday, so in 2 days I'm going to a scrapbooking convention, which, you know, I've never done before. And I'm hoping that they'll have the Prima paper there or other kind of paper that I can buy, double-sided paper, because I have a little baby keepsake box and album I need to do. So I'm hoping. Alright, so but today I'm going to get to play, and I'm actually going to work on my art journal. So I'm excited. Mike Deakin is his name. Mike Deakin. I keep forgetting his last name when I'm doing my vlogs. But he has come up with this just great idea of, it's called Mission Inspiration. And he gives you a list of things that you need to do in order to do your art journal. Now, you do have to do everything on the list. I'm not sure if you have to go in this particular order. I know I've seen a video where the guy kind of, you know, flip the steps around or whatever, but I think you're supposed to go in order. But you are allowed to also add things to your page if you feel the need to. So there's 8 prompts, and then there's suggested colors for this month, and then there's words to get you inspired. So this is what I'm tackling today. So I am excited. I hope you're excited. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to fast forward through the steps and just narrate over it to let you know what I've done. Because, you know, a lot of it is tedious work or whatever. I enjoy watching the process, but like I don't enjoy watching paint dry. You know what I'm saying? Or watching somebody paint. You know, we all know how to do that. So that's what I'm going to end up doing. Alright, y'all, well, stay tuned and let's get playing. Alright, I'm about to begin, and what I want to do is show you my journal. This is actually the one that I made a few months ago, and this is the first time I'm able to actually using it. I will post a link in the description if you're wondering how I made it. The first step is to brayer one or all colors onto your page. This is actually the first time I've ever used a brayer as well. I loved the way the blue worked. I like that some of the white is coming through. I'm going to use the green on the bottom because, you know, to be like sky and then like grass. And I'm not crazy about the way the green showed. Yeah, it was a little dark for me, and I wasn't crazy about that. So, but it ended up working. I don't know why some of the white came in the top, but not on the bottom. So, okay, step 2 is collage napkin pieces over. So I decided to use this napkin because I liked the butterflies in it. And I will use fluid matte medium in order to adhere it. I got this little tip from Mike about using a wet paintbrush to essentially cut out your pieces of your napkin. So that's what I ended up doing. And as I was taking my butterflies out, because that's originally what I wanted, I noticed the little daisies, and I was like, oh, those would look so cute on the ground. So I ended up taking some of those as well. So I'm just looking, I'm placing it onto my book just to see what I needed and how many of them I needed before I cut them out. I think in the end I ended up taking 3 of them. And as I looked, I was like, you know what? I think these flowers will look cute in the background too, behind my focal point that I'm going to end up putting on there. And plus they're magenta, so they go with the color scheme, which this month was cyan, yellow, and magenta, or blue, yellow, and pink in my world. And then I took these leaves and thought, well, these might look like trees. They didn't. I didn't like them, so therefore I did not use them. And now I'll just use my the fluid matte medium, and I will adhere it to the page very carefully, because you know it's napkins. And this brush is old and crusty with matte medium on it. And I will apologize right now. My book is longer than normal, than what I'm used to, and I only have so much room on my desk with my camera. And so, yeah, you don't get to see the full bottom. It looks like some of it is cut off, but really there's not a lot cut off, so you'll still know what I'm doing. You'll still be able to tell what I'm doing. I wish the green had more of the white in it, like the blue, and those little daisies would end up coming out better. They kind of got lost in the green, but of course it is the background, so I think it ended up being okay. And I'm just putting the little butterflies on. I really do enjoy doing this. I think this is like my 4th page I've ever done, mixed media wise, so I'm still learning, but I love this little idea that Mike has come up with to help us along with some of our creativity. And then I decided, you know what, I need a sun, plus that's one of the words, so I just took a piece of scrapbook paper and used my circle punch and punched out the bigger circle. And then I found this picture in a garden book, and I just cut it out because it had the yellow on it. And I thought, well, that'd be cool, to put inside for the sun to give it more of a yellow looking color. So I decided to do that. And I thought that was a cute idea. That was pretty much just an extra step. So I'm done with number 2, and now I'm moving on to number 3, which is add texture with household objects. So I have a bamboo skewer, a bubble wrap, toilet paper roll, empty toilet paper roll, and what else do I have? I have something else. Well, with the toilet paper roll, I just wanted it to go around the sun, so I painted yellow around it and just popped it as you see. And now I'm using the bubble wrap with white to look like clouds. At least that's what they were supposed to be. And now this is another little extra step that I decided to do, and you'll see why with my focal point. It goes great with my focal point. So I added a little bird with modeling paste. I just love using the modeling paste. And this is another thing, going back to the household items. This was in a protector of my OttLite that I got, and it's kind of got a rough edge. So I just got a lighter green and dipped it in to put texture to make it look, like grass on my heel here. And so now I'm moving on to step number 4, which is drip or spray ink color over your page. And so I used blue Indian ink, and at first it wasn't dark enough, so I needed to make some more. So it's just Indian ink and water in a spray bottle, and that came out blue, and it's beautiful. I love that color, I really do. And then I will spray the bottom with green, and that just made the green even darker. I don't know, what I was thinking. And you really couldn't tell the difference once I got it on there. And then I'm just using Indian ink in a brush to paint the bird. Again, this is just an extra step. It's not part of the props, but I wanted him in there because I love modeling paste. So I've got that done, and now I'm moving on to adding my focal point, which is going to be this birdhouse out of the napkin. And at first I was going to use the water trick, but then I was like, no, I think I want the edges more straight, so then I end up cutting it out. Which it seemed like it took forever to cut this out. And plus I was so nervous because you know it's a napkin. So I wanted to be extra careful that it wouldn't, you know, rip. And so it was a little nerve-wracking. But before I put it down, I'm like, oh, but I wanted my son to have rays. So then I kind of skipped to number 6, add splatters using an eyedropper or pipette. And so I'm taking the yellow Indian ink and taking the straw. So this kind of goes with add the textures with the household item. And I'm just blowing the ink to make my rays. That was so much fun. I loved doing that. That was pretty fun. Now I can put my birdhouse down. And I think I put it down a little crooked, but shh, don't tell anyone. I won't tell if you don't tell. And again, I'm being very gentle because it is a napkin. So I've added the focal point, and now I'm going back to the splatter, and I will do the same thing. You just can't see because unfortunately I was out of the shot, but I used the green ink and blue with the straw like I did with the sun, and then I inadvertently hit it with my hand and knocked the ink on my desk. Almost half the bottle got knocked over, and I almost cried, but there's no use to crying over spilt ink, so I just let it go. And now I'm going back to the add the texture, which I couldn't do until I got the birdhouse down. And I'm using that bamboo skewer to add the post for the house. And then I'm kind of using, again, I go back to this household object thingy to add texture. And I just add yellow buttons into my sun. And again, I'm just using the matte medium to adhere them to the page. I thought this turned out so cute. I loved it. I'm just trying to, find other buttons. And then I added one for the door. Now I take that bamboo skewer again and a lighter brown, I think it's like a tan, to add, wood, make it look like woody grain. So now I'm finished with number 6, so I go on to number 7, doodle around the edges. So I take my micro black pen and I'm just putting lines around the birdhouse, and I think I'll put it around the bird as well. And I'm just making them squiggly lines. I'm not making them straight, just to kind of, give it a little oomph. And I'm probably doing the bird right there, which you can't see. Again, sorry about that. I'm going to have to figure out a way to do that. And then now what I'm doing is I'm just adding a little bit of details. I'm using a black Sharpie marker just to make the black pop out a little bit more onto the birdhouse. And then I got my Copic markers out to paint the flowers in, just to give them a little bit more color. I felt they needed a little bit more color, so I'm using my Copic markers for that. I went around the butterfly down at the bottom. And I started to do that butterfly. I'm like, oh, well, you can't really see him because of the cloud. The cloud's in the way. And now I changed to my pit markers to kind of do some shadowing and blending, highlighting, shadowing, just to add detail. I apologize for being out of the shot. I did not realize I was this out. And then I just take green and the blue and I kind of go around everything to kind of just set them into the page. I like that look when I'm doing these mixed media pages, how it kind of just sets it back into the page. And because I used the matte medium, I'm able to smudge it before it dries to give it a good shadow. The top and the edge came up, so I had to fix that. Then I'll end up taking my white gel pen and just adding little bits of white highlights with it. This is very interesting. I really liked this mission. It was fun. And so that's finished, and then the last thing to do is to finish with all or one of the words. And first I'm gonna just go around it with black ink just to kind of give it a border. And then I got a Tim Holtz saying, which is do what you love. So I used the word love, and then I went around it with the blue and then black Sharpie. Well, that's it, y'all. That is my mixed media page, my mission inspiration for July. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed doing it. I hope it inspired you to get crafting. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, and if you've not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It lets people know that, it just lets YouTube know that I'm making content people like. Alright, and if you have subscribed, hit the bell so you'll always know when I post a video. Thanks for watching, y'all. Y'all be good to one another, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.